Hi, thank you for joining us in today's video. Today we're going to talk about content. There's a lot you can do with content, but don't worry, we're going to take it in little bite-sized pieces, and by the end of this video you'll be a pro at working with content. So let's jump in and get started. First thing, and the thing we're most familiar with, is just searching content. So you do have the search feature where you can type in a standard or you can type in a topic. It will pull back the results and it will give you a set of filters. So just as other content is organized by filters in Zuni, the same response will occur even when you use a search feature. So I can see assessments for fractions, division, etc. If I typed a standard in, it would have brought me back the resources according to different types of resources as well. If for some reason you don't find what you're looking for, then you come in and you'll get a pop-up that will say, hey, sorry, we didn't find what you're looking for. You can add your comments here, tell us what you were trying to find, click submit, and then we'll be able to double check, see if we had it in there, maybe just still a little off on tagging. If not, then we will pull some resources and put them in here for you and let you know as soon as we have it done. So we really want to make sure that you find what you need. We're not as advanced as Google yet, but we continue to work on improving our search feature to make it easy for you to find content via the search avenue inside Zuni. In Zuni, we provide another way to find content. So sometimes I think, well, I'm a grade 4 teacher and I'm looking for something in literacy, so I'm going to click on literacy. When I click on literacy, I'm like, okay, I'm working with adjectives. So I could just click on adjectives and go find what I'm looking for. But before we go into that, notice how you have reading literature, reading informational writing, language, knowledge of language. So it's listed out by the strands. We're continually adding new content. One of the latest things we're doing is really putting books in by genres. So as we hear from teachers which books are their favorite books and the genres they fall into, we pull together collections for them. So this you will see continue to grow, and it's really based on your input of what books do you need. So remember we're going to take a look at adjectives. So I'm going to click on adjectives, and then I'm going to be brought to this screen where I'm going to be able to see the games free, lesson ideas, print materials, smart notebook, TPT freebies, video visuals. So here now I can go and find content. But today we're not really talking about just this content. We're talking about what do you do with it once you find it. So one of the challenges we have when we find content on the internet is, but then I need to share it or assign it or collaborate with it or review it and do different things like that. In Zuni we make that super easy. So over here, let's start with the little stars that you have right here. You can rate your content by just clicking on a star. A pop-up will occur and you can add your comments. Over time, as more users rate content, the content with the best ratings will begin to float to the top. So we're going to talk about sharing content. When we share the content, we just want to click on our little button right here. Then it will bring us to this pop-up. Here we can copy and paste the link. So you see this little square. That means you can copy and paste the link, take it into your lesson plans, share it with somebody via email if you want to. You can also take a piece of content and pop it into a widget. So if on your dashboard you created a widget that was for great math games and resources and you found a math game, you can just pop it right in there. When you click on the tree, you'll just get a pop-up that will ask you which widget do you want to put it into. You just pick it and then it will bring you to the screen where you can now really put particulars to it. You can set the data when you want it to show up. So if you want this widget to show up one week and maybe another piece of content to show up another week, you can set it by dates, you can give it a title, and you can say who you want to give it to within your school or within your classroom depending on the role that you have. So we wanted to make it easy, but what you always want to make sure you do is click save, and then it will save it and that will populate into your widgets. Now let's talk about how you can share with a class. So if you want to share with a class, you just simply select the class that you want to share with and click the share button and it will share with the class. Super easy. If you want to share with someone, so maybe you have an individual user or maybe you want to share with a colleague at a different school that you're working with on some topics or ideas, you can simply click the share with someone and then you can use the features in here. You can add your comments, you can select everyone here, you can give them permissions to comment back and forth with you on a piece of content. You can include teachers from the Zuni community, and this is where you can go and find that teacher that may be at another school, another district, or even another state. We really want you to be able to collaborate together. We meet colleagues at all kinds of conferences, and we want you to be able to work together on everything. Just click your share button, and then you'll be able to share that piece of content. And a lot of people are using Google Classroom, so we want to make sure that you can easily pop anything you want into your Google Classroom. When you click on Google Classroom, you will just get a pop-up that will allow you to put into Google Classroom. So let's talk about assigning. So when we assign something, it's very similar. We're going to come in and we'll be able to select our class. When we click the next button, we'll be able to add our instructions, put our start date, our end date, and we can really differentiate here. So if we don't want this resource to go to every student, we can just uncheck and it won't, and we can confirm our assignment. So super easy. If I want to send it to Google Classroom, here it is. Just like share, I click on share and there's my pop-up to be able to sign it in to just pick my Google class that I want to assign this into. So it's super easy to go back and forth with those. Now we want to talk about the Plant It feature. The Plant It feature is this little seedling right here. So you know you're familiar with Pinterest and pinning it, but in Zuni we believe in planting it and building a garden, and where this is your learning garden. So it's a lot of fun to put your collections in there. You can comment on an entire collection and comment on different pieces of content. So we'll talk about how you can select a folder, or you can add it into your folder. We'll talk about my garden a little bit more later. Let's talk about this last button, the little orange button. This is where you can find out the information of what standards does this piece of content go to, and how many pieces of content. Like this particular piece of content is a book. So a book may have a lot of resources that go with that book. When I come over here and I see showing 1 of 3, and I use this arrow, I can then see all 3 different types of pieces of content. And this will give me the details about what type of content it is. So this is a lesson plan. I might have some graphic organizers, might just have some print materials, might have some videos, might have the read aloud for that book. So when we have multiple pieces of content, you'll be able to just click through here and find those pieces of content. And again, to look at the standards, you'll see the standards right here on what that standard represents. So we wanted to make it easy for you to know everything about working with that piece of content. Now let's go and take a look at my garden. My garden resides in the left navigation. Notice you have an orange new. That means somebody has shared something with me, or maybe I've added content to my garden. When you pop into my garden, you have these different tabs at the top. My favorites will be the default, and this is where it houses all of the favorite pieces that you plant from your garden into Zuni. Now let's take a look at my garden. My garden resides on the left navigation. Notice a little orange new. That means somebody has either shared something with me, or I have planted something from the Zuni content into my garden. So notice the first tab is my favorites. This is where all the things that you plant are going to show up here. You organize what you plant into different folders, or you can also have individual pieces of content here. So in this folder of adjectives, I have these pieces of content, and then I've named these different collections inside of here. So each collection contains X number of pieces of content. This one contains 5, this one has 1, this one has 14 pieces. What's great about once you have it into your garden is you can share the collection as well. So maybe I want to share this with my colleagues so that at our next professional learning community, these might be great resources to work with our students who are struggling in the adjective area, or in a math area, wherever it may be. I can assign it to a group of students, so it helps me to really differentiate that instruction. I may use these for my students who have IEPs or on 504s. I can comment back and forth with my colleagues or students, and if I give them permission, they can comment too, and we can really talk about how to use that piece of content and get the most out of it. I can edit the title anytime I need to, delete it, move it to another folder, or put it over here in archive. Maybe I've changed grades at the end of the year, and I don't really want to get rid of my collection, but I don't need it right here in my favorites. I can put it over here into my archives and move it back and forth anytime I want. So we know that we can add content into the My Favorites section by planting any piece of content we find in Zuni. So once you're searching Zuni, you found a piece of content you like, you can just plant it into your garden. But there are more ways to get content into your garden as well. Let's talk about the first way, and that's adding content with the Chrome extension. To add content through the Chrome extension, you need to have added the extension to your Chrome browser. The way you do that is just go to the Chrome extension store, find the extension, and just add it into your URL. There's another video that guides you on how to do that. Once you have it here, the great benefit of the Chrome extension is that it allows you to quickly and easily add any website right into Zuni. So notice right here we have circled the folder Zuni extension. Anytime a piece of content is added in, it automatically creates and puts it into the Zuni extension folder. So when you click on the extension, you'll be able to find the pieces of content. So I've added these 4 websites into Zuni. So I quickly and easily come here, access my OneNote. I can access quickly tools that I'm using. For me as a parent, when I'm using Zuni, I have in my extension, I have put the Home Access Center, all of the links to the places they go to. So I have one location that I go access everything for my child from. So let's take a look at how that can be done. So when I come in here and I'm taking a look at my favorite website, this might be a favorite blog that I have. I see my extension in the top right. So right here is a little tree. I click on the little tree and up will pop the Zuni notification letting me know that this has been added to my garden. Depending on your browser and your internet speed, it could take just a second or two for you to see that notification, but it lets you know a little happiness was added to your garden. And so now if I go back into my garden, I can see that my piece of content is right here in my group of everything that I've added from the web into the Zuni extension. So one little click and that website is now inside Zuni. We wanted to make it easy for you to be able to put everything into that one spot. This is a really big hit. Teachers love it. Saves them so much time. We're going to talk about another way that you can add content, and that's going to be through the My Creations section. The My Creations has an Add Content button over to the far right. When you click on the Add Content button to the far right, you can come in and you'll be brought to this wizard that will guide you through. The first thing it will ask you to do is type your title and your summary. Your title is required, so you have to have a title for your piece of content. The summary is not. And then you just simply click Next. And then it will bring you to and ask you to help find resources. So do you want to search the internet? You can search the internet. Here is a group of buttons that allows you to do multiple things. Maybe you want to search the internet, maybe you just want some Google images, maybe you want to find something on YouTube, maybe you have a link you want to put in and manually just add content this direction, or maybe you want to find something on your computer and upload it into your Zuni section. You can do this any direction. So I typed in fractions and I was populated with these fraction resources. Now maybe I really like this fraction resource, so I'm going to want to add this. And I can review that piece of content, that resource, by clicking on the title below. And a window will open, allow me to just look at that resource, see if I really like it or not. And if I do, then I can simply drag and drop it and put it over here. So I just take it from here and drop it. And now I can come into here and do multiple things with this piece of content. Maybe instead I just want to upload something from my computer. So here is my computer button, and this will bring me the browse option. So now I can browse my folders on my computer and see what I might want to upload. So maybe I want to add this little Duolingo picture into my computer. So I can just click on it, open it, standard upload, and now I have it here. And what I did was I saw it here and I could just drag and drop it right over here, and now Duolingo is my piece of content that I brought in. So it's that easy to upload content from your computer as well and to add it in. The next step after you click Next is now you could immediately assign that. So you upload it and assign it right away, and just simply select your class, give instructions, any notes you want to go with it, a start date, an end date if you like, and make sure you click Save. It's very important to click Save to make sure that all of this great work you did, when it takes, it's less than 30 seconds or a minute to be able to add content from your computer and bring it right into Zuni as well. Once you click Save, it takes you back to My Creations. You'll see that piece of content. If there's anything you wanted to change, you can. So this is where you can just simply upload your content or search. It's another option to search and find content on Google as well, or to bring in YouTube videos, variety of things you can do by adding content this direction. Now let's take a look at how you can request content. Maybe you'd like us to do some searching for you. That's easy. In the bottom right corner, there's a little chat feature. Just click on the little chat icon that you see in the bottom right corner, and then you'll have an option to be able to just type what your needs are in here. It's very important when you type in here to let us know what you need, when you need it by. Make sure you ask for it in time that you'll have a chance to review it and take a look. Our team will get together. They'll let you know what they can find, how long it will take. For some topics, there's just a plethora of free open educational resources out there. For other topics, there aren't as many yet. So we will let you know what we find, and then you'll know what you have. So please feel free to request content from us. Remember, we're here for you so that we're the assistant you dream about, need, and deserve. So just let us know what you need. So you've done a great job. You've really done a lot working with content. You learned how to search, how to find it through navigation. In less than 3 clicks, you can find the content you need instead of 3 hours searching the internet. You can share that content, assign it. You can use your Google Classroom, assign it in Zuni, plant it, add your own resources, request resources. So we hope that you feel like you have some support and the assistant that you need. Remember that you can always follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to us on YouTube where we put all of our training videos. So thank you so much for joining us for this video. You are now Content Pro. So we will see you in our next training video.